Hey guys, welcome to WOD, the Woman of Distinction. Today I want to talk to you guys about the enemy within. The enemy within is the struggles that you have within yourself. You know, the voice, the negative inner voice that you have, that you struggle with every day. A lot of people have that. Myself, I deal with that. And in fact, I would go ahead and say most women deal with that inner voice. But first, I just want to highlight that women, we deal with a lot of things. We deal with a lot of insecurities. No matter who you are, we deal with a lot of negativity in our lives. For example, like we have the media telling us things that it tells us what we should be, how we should act like, who we should be, and how we should be that person. You know, we every time we turn on the TV or radio, we are told, you know, all the time, or we see the message is you are not good enough, you are not smart enough, you are not skinny enough, you don't have the perfect skin enough. You know what I mean? There's always like that. Everybody is trying to tell us who we should be and how we should be. Everyone is trying to point out the imperfections in our lives and how we can fix those imperfections. People in our lives that are constantly pointing out the negative things that we say, the negative things that we do, the negative things that we are, like all the struggles that we struggle with. You know, you are never good enough. I feel like that is something that you can ignore. All those voices from the media, from your friends, from your family, from strangers, people that you know, I feel like it's stuff that you can deal with and you can overcome, because if you don't want to hear what they have to say, you can get away from them and you can switch off the television if you don't like what they are saying on TV. But really, the struggle that I find myself dealing with is the struggle within myself. It's me that I'm worried about. It's me that, you know, is like my worst enemy. That voice within myself, that enemy within myself, the voice that is constantly telling me that you are not good enough, the voice that is constantly telling me that, you know what, give up. You know, and I don't know what your struggle is. Maybe your struggle is different from mine. Maybe your struggle is you are trying to lose weight and, you know, the voice is like, you're wasting your time, the scale is not changing. And maybe you're trying to pray for your husband, you're trying to, you know, to pray that he becomes a better man, and, you know, you're trying to fight for your marriage, and that voice is telling you, go, give up, because he's not coming back, he's gone. And the voice, sometimes you are trying to study and it says to you, you are not good enough, you are not smart enough. It's within each and every one of us. We struggle with it every day. You won't win in this business, or you've tried again but it never worked. So what makes you think it's gonna work right now? It's not what people say, it's not what the media say, it's what you say to yourself. When I had a baby, I gained like 60 pounds. I think that's about 30 kgs, just around there. And I was the biggest I've ever been in my life, and I'm still trying to lose the weight, you know, 7 months later. It was hard for me, you know, needless to say, if you gain 60 pounds and you suddenly weigh 90 something kgs from weighing 60, it's like your clothes doesn't fit. It's, you know, it was just a depressing experience for me. And it was so hard. Like, I would go work out and I would weigh myself in the scale and it will seem like nothing is happening. For months it seemed like nothing was happening. It was a very stressful experience for me, you know, and I had to remind myself what the Word of God says about me. I had to remind myself, you know, what if I never lost all the weight? Will I still love myself? Will I still be beautiful? You know, would I still consider myself a beautiful woman if I just never lost any of the weight that I gained? Would I still look at myself and think I'm pretty? And so what does the Word of God say about me? I had to remember that. I had to remember the deep, you know, the deep stuff that God says about me, not the shallowness of what the world tells me. And I remember that the Word of God says that I don't look at your outward appearance, I look at your heart. It is your heart that I'm looking for. And then I had to ask myself, would you say that you are beautiful in God's eyes? Would you look at your heart and say, I am beautiful in God's eyes? And that was the issue that I had to deal with. I had to forget about my outside appearance and deal with my inner self. And deal with the things that were not true, like the truth of God, instead of like focusing on the truth of what the world says to me. And that's when I find my strength. That's when I find my peace. That's when I find my beauty. After I had made peace with that, I started seeing change, and I'm still continuing seeing the change in my physical body, in my outward appearance. What does that voice tell you? And how do you overcome it? Do you just sit there and feel sorry for yourself? Do you just sit there and believe what everybody else? Are you depressed because the voice is winning? The voice within you is winning the battle. Are you losing a battle to yourself? I don't know. But I know that it is the word of God that can take you out of that. It is the word of God that can change your perspective and that can silence the voice within you. Because God, the word of God says so many beautiful things about you. It says that you are good enough. You know, it says that you are good enough because Jesus died for you. Maybe you are sitting there and you are thinking, well, maybe nobody loves me. But Jesus does. God does. He sent Jesus to die for you. And maybe you are sitting there and thinking, you know, I wish I was skinnier. I wish I was more beautiful. I wish I was smarter. What does the word of God say to you? Do you even know what it says? The thing is, I can tell you now and say you need to know. The word of God has answers, has encouragement, has all the wonderful things that it can say to you. But the problem is, do you know what it says? Do you even pick it up and do you even read it? Do you even know exactly what it says about you? Because when that negative voice comes for you and it's there and it's fighting with you, you need to say to it, look, I know that I'm beautiful because God says that I am beautiful in His eyes. I know that I'm not alone because God says He will never leave me or forsake me. I know that even if my family can abandon me, the word of God says that even if the mother can forget a child in her breast, I will not forget you. But if you don't know that, I'm telling you now, the voice within you is winning. I see people all the time on social media, they're posting, oh, enemies be like, no, not enemies. They'll be like, oh, haters be hating on me because I'm doing this. They'll be saying things behind my back and everything. And I'm thinking, no, you are the person that you should be worried about. In reality, some people don't even need haters. They don't need someone to hate on them. They are their own haters. They are the ones that are constantly saying negative things about themselves, whether in front of their faces or behind their backs. But you say that stuff to yourself. You say, I'm ugly. You say, I'm fat. You say, I'm not good enough. You say, you know, I'm not smart enough. You say those things to yourself. Because if you don't like what the media says, you switch off the television. If you don't like what, you know, your friends are saying about you, if you don't like what people are saying about you, you get off Facebook. But the truth is, you cannot run away from yourself. You can't. I wish you can, but you cannot. You cannot run away from yourself. So then you have to deal with yourself. You have to face yourself in the mirror and you have to fight that voice and say, that's not what God says about me. The struggle is real. It is really real, but it's with you. It's that inner enemy, the enemy within that we all have. I am my biggest enemy, and so are you. Most people are not successful in life not because someone else is stopping them from succeeding. They don't succeed because they are stopping themselves from succeeding. So my question for you today is that, what does that voice tell you? I know like what it tells other people. I know what it told me. The inner voice is there. So what do you tell it? Are you winning a battle or it is winning? Are you winning this battle with yourself, or your other self is winning? So you need to go back to the Word of God. You need to know what it says about you. You need to know the truth so that you can be able to fight with the lie that you tell yourself sometimes. You need to go back to what the Word of God says about success, about family, about, wisdom, about beauty. You need to go back to that. Because if you don't know what it says, I can tell you now, you've lost the battle. And I tell you, you don't need haters. You don't need anyone to stop you. You are your own enemy. So guys, I don't want to be depressing. I don't want to talk to you about something that you don't want to hear. But you have to hear sometimes the stuff that you don't want to hear. And I think it's important for me to tell you guys. It's important for me to be very honest with you, because this is not just a struggle alone. I just want you to know that you are not alone. There's many other girls out there that are struggling. But you don't have to be. Replace that negative voice with a positive one. That's it for me today. I'm going to post another video next week. I hope you guys have a great day, and if you like what I'm posting and you like this channel, please invite your friends and share the post, and subscribe to the channel. I love you guys so much, and I will see you again next time.